Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to go through Twitter, see what people are sharing on social media. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together, generally related to three different topics: wealth building, commodities, and/or financial topics. So let's dive right in. Take a look, see what's going on today. If you want to follow me, it's at @Finance. And if you want to join our community, finding-value.com, where I dive deeper into all these topics, subjects, sectors, looking for investment opportunities and sharing those opportunities with everyone in the community. And no, I do not take the easy walk where I just recommend or put in front of you ETFs, although I do that. I dive in, I look at the individual companies, I look at speculative companies, I look at cash flowing companies, dividend payers. I basically look at whatever looks to be of a good opportunity and close to a bottom. Then I share it with everybody. I accumulate right alongside everyone on the website. I do not front run anything. Sometimes I share opportunities before I've even accumulated myself. If that sounds interesting to you, special is the coupon code. You get a 50% off discount on the first month on the monthly membership and a larger $100 discount on the yearly membership. And you can always swap from a monthly to a yearly if that's what you'd like to do. So here's Zero Hedge. We now believe that the target for gold is probably closer to 4,200, with the possibility of going as high as 6,000 by the end of 2029, says JP Morgan. Now, what do I think of price targets? It's a waste of time. This right here, waste of time. That does not matter. What was their price targets when you should have been purchasing gold? And did their price targets matter at all? No, it doesn't. It does not matter. And people will increase their price targets as the price goes up. They are influenced by price. But when you should be buying, you should be buying when nobody wants it, when their price targets are below what the price of gold actually is at, when everyone is bearish. That's how you make a ton of money, guys. These price targets, I know a lot of people, I saw this a lot with the uranium crowd. They're like, how come uranium's not going up? There's all this news being released. News is just news. It's garbage. It is garbage. So people are going to say, well, how do you understand a sector? Well, you have to buy when smart money's buying. The best question that you can ask isn't what news is going to impact whatever. That's not what you want to focus on. You want to focus your efforts on when is smart money going to purchase, because that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what news is being released. If they don't buy the stock, who cares? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if there's positive news about XYZ. Did the smart money already purchase? Are they already positioned before the news comes out? If the answer is yes, smart money accumulates before the news gets released, then how do you figure out when smart money is accumulating? Through the charts. Now, what method do you have to acquire sectors and to look for smart money accumulation? Well, that's when you need to know ratios to see what's cheap. So you find what's cheap, you accumulate when the smart money accumulates based off of the herd's patterns, and you don't worry about news and price targets. Now, is it possible to project moves of something? My answer is no. I don't think it is. Now, a lot of people have a lot of confidence in putting the size of the cup and handle, doing all these other things, which sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. I've seen price targets be blown out by 2 or 3x. So someone says, oh, the price target of $40. I've seen it go to 120. What's the value of a price target if we'll call it, if the price targets, one, change and move as the price moves, and two, if the accuracy is below 5 or 10%? They don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. So how do you invest then? Well, you invest based off of the conditions. When conditions are present and money continues to flow in, it's game on. But you're not driven by price targets. You're driven by market conditions. And as long as the market conditions are conducive for money to flow into the assets that you own, then it's game on. It doesn't matter what price you're sitting at necessarily. Now, could things get overpriced? Yes. Could things still go up? Yes. So it's not an easy game. It's not as simple as drawing a couple of lines, throwing a couple of lines on top of it. Oh, well, this is the price target. Well, that's what a lot of people make it to be. I don't think it's that simple. I think it is, if the conditions continue, price will continue to go up. And I'll give you some examples later on. Bulls make more than bears. So, if anything, being an optimist about life and about things in general is a great attribute as an investor. You just can't be starry eyed and naive. I completely agree. You can't make any money. It's so difficult to make money if you are always bearish and pessimistic. Oh, things aren't going to work out. Oh, you're going to sell at the first chance you get. You won't make any money. So yeah, you have to be optimistic. Now, some people say, Andy, you're a permabull. You're a permabull because you are optimistic. No, nothing like that. What I was looking at is I'm looking at everything through a framework of how I view the world, and a paradigm. So a paradigm is an outlook or a viewpoint based off of what I see in the market. So if you can look at the market and let's say you size up thousands and thousands of charts that you look at of individual companies in all these different sectors, and you put a log in the back of your head saying, okay, coal bottom bullish, fertilizers bottoming bullish, and then you go through all these different sectors and they're all bullish. What does that mean? What if they are putting in a structure that is a consolidation but bullish on a long-term big picture view? Everyone is so thrown around by the short-term market movements that they lose sight of the big trend, the big picture. I'm a big trend, big picture guy. I always have been. Even when I used to work at work, I was always big picture, big trend, big view, big this, right? I hated the day-to-day movements where I was in the trenches doing the work because that's just not what I naturally migrated to. I naturally migrated to big trends, to big picture views, the 30,000 foot view, and the things that made sense. That's what I always migrated to. So you have to be optimistic as an investor. In my opinion, I think you can make a lot more money doing a big picture view and taking a big trend view than it is trying to make money off of the small market movements in the shorter term. Tim Hack says this time gold won't stop at $10,000 an ounce because this time it is truly different. Fiat is dying, so gold priced in fiat will surpass past M2 ratio highs towards infinity until it holds all the monetary value there is, as it should be. One part of the ratio, the fiat illusion, will vanish into thin air and goods will be priced in blockchain-assisted gold, silver, and potentially other real-world weights or baskets stored proportionally and decentralized in all the countries. The next step towards a global trustworthy society with an incorruptible monetary base secured through combining old and new. And I don't know if he's right. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. All value in this world is through the land, the homes on the land, and the commodities used to make usable products. That is it. Everyone else just steals along the way. I'll say that one more time. All wealth is in land, the things on the land, whatever, and then the commodities that come from the land to make usable products. And the products themselves that you make and the machines that you use to make those products, those all have value. What happened is these bankers come in and they just print up money and then they extract fees and steal through the currency. And they steal through everyone else, they steal through the currency, everyone else's land, time, machines, and products that are made. And they have taxes for governments because governments don't make anything, they just steal crap. So everything needs to be transferred away from the fiat BS that we've got back into hard assets and real money. Now, is Bitcoin real money? My answer is no, it's not. Bitcoin is a waste of time. And I think it was created by government and they want you to be there so that they can control you and monitor you. And I think that AI is a race to track, basically to track all of the transactions and to control everybody at some point. My guess. Coming up, rock bottom entries. The commodity index is breaking out in a big way. Crude oil is finally participating. The super cycle begins now. As we're breaking out of the commodity index, this is the Invesco DB commodity index that's breaking to the upside with a nice big bullish engulfing. And obviously, we've got some good strength coming on up, and we've got a volume shelf launch pad that we're launching from. This is it. This is the beginning of the big bull market that I've been talking about. Well, not the beginning. We're in the bull market. 2020 was the beginning. 2020 to 2021, 2 was kind of the first surge. This is the second wave pullback, and then we're going into a wave 3, which is a big surge. It's gonna be a big boy move. Francois, whatever, overbought. So this is paper currencies versus gold. And along the way, everyone was screaming potentially, gold is overbought, gold is overbought, gold's going nowhere, gold is messed up, gold is going to collapse, and it went to infinity. Just like Tim Hack above said, it's going to go to infinity. Well, that's going to infinity. Are we in a hyperinflation, and how do you identify one? How do you know that gold is just going to blow off the relative strength indicator completely off to the upside like this? Did you know in the 1920s, during this time frame, that platinum was 5.5 times the price of gold? Did anybody know that? That's pretty cool. Maybe we get another 5.5x against gold here. That would be insane if we did. Here's the Bitcoin bros. It is time to trade in your Bitcoin for gold. And here's the downtrend. And we're just breaking that downtrend here right now where gold can outperform Bitcoin. Is the changing market condition upon us right now? Are we entering this commodity bull market here where gold's going to outperform Bitcoin and NASDAQ and all the rest? In my opinion, yes. I think it will be, but my opinion doesn't mean anything. What means something is what actually occurs. And a lot of people, they think that Bitcoin's going to be the savior, that it's an inflation hedge and all this other stuff. I'm not so sure. I'm a doubt. I think that gold and silver and platinum and all the other hard assets are going to outperform Bitcoin. But that's me. Why do I think that? Because I think people are going to sell Bitcoin for things that they actually need. I think it's a big speculative bubble. And with money coming in the system as much as it has, I think it all flowed into financial assets. And Bitcoin is a part of that financial asset. It's an intangible asset. And when people need things, when they need to spend money for whatever it is, it could be oil, like gasoline, it could be food, it could be housing, whatever it is. I think Bitcoin's going to be something that they sell, not something that they want to hold on to. But that's me. And some people are going to have to sell it because they need to live. Here is the platinum to silver ratio. If you're calling for $500 silver, you should also be calling for $20,000 to $50,000 platinum. And there's the ratio. We're in that falling wedge, ready to potentially break out at some point on his chart there. Do I think that platinum could go to $20,000 or $50,000 an ounce? Yeah. I mean, rhodium did. Palladium was up around what, 3,500, and historically platinum's always been more expensive than palladium and gold. Gold's already at 40. We'll say was it 3,800 or whatever it is. I don't know exactly what it is, 38, 3,900, whatever it is. Are we going to see platinum up at 10,000, 20,000? We could. Yeah, totally possible. Now, people are going to say, well, you can't buy as much in the future. It's like, well, yeah, that will be the true too. So I think it'll outperform everything if it gets to this price here for the most part. But, and it will increase your purchasing power, yes. Going back here, remember Tim saying that the that gold priced in fiat will surpass past M2 ratio highs towards infinity until it holds all the monetary value there is, as it should be. When they're talking about monetary value, I think they're talking about all monetary value. And calculation was done, this was a long time ago, so it is way off. When you price it in dollars, the gold price, and you use all fiat currency that's been created around the world, and if the world were to run at gold and silver and platinum and all these things simultaneously, all at the same time, I mean, gold could be $1 million an ounce. And back then, I think the calculation was like 250,000 or 290,000 an ounce of all monetary, but that was a long time ago. And we have created massive amounts more from that time that was calculated. So that was probably at least 10 years ago. So we've created way more money from that calculation. So it could be like $1 million an ounce. And I think all of the ratios are going to remain roughly intact. So whatever historically platinum has been to gold and silver's been to gold, I think they're going to roughly be whatever they were in history. So we went into this financialized world, and platinum and silver and some of these metals got just ridiculously cheap. But if you look back in history, silver and even platinum in the 1800s was way more expensive than gold. Platinum was. And silver, the ratio was much tighter to gold than it is today. So I think the financialized world and the financial assets created massive distortions in some of these commodities. I think it created a distortion in oil and also in silver and platinum. And I think people are first running to gold, and then it will eventually get into everything else. It's coming. Here's a crazy statistic. He says there isn't enough silver in the world for every millionaire to own 65 ounces. Sounds wild? Let's check the math. So here's the math: 3 million ounces of 3 billion ounces of silver. There are 47 million millionaires. That equals 64 ounces each. Global investable silver above ground is about 3 billion ounces in bars, coins, and ETFs. Global millionaires, there's 59 million per Credit Suisse 2023. That's 50 ounces per millionaire if perfectly divided. But reality is messier. A huge chunk of those 3 billion ounces is already locked in vaults, ETFs, and central banks. The rest is scattered in private hands. The industry consumes about 1.2 billion ounces annually. So no way every millionaire could get even close to 50 ounces. In fact, the average human being would get even less. 3 billion ounces divided by 8 billion people is 0.37 ounces per person. That's barely a silver ring each. Now think, 65 ounces is just a bit over 2 kilograms of silver. Solar panels, gigantic silver sink. Industrial demand eats up silver faster than millionaires could hoard it. This is why silver's true scarcity is hidden in plain sight. Gold is hoarded, silver is consumed, and once used in industry, it rarely comes back. If millionaires ever panic into silver, the math says it all. not enough supply, not enough ounces, not enough time. Price won't just rise, it will reprice. Stackers already know the clock is ticking. When demand collides with scarcity, the revaluation will be historic. Stay strong, stay stacking. There we go. There's a silver message there. And that's all I've got for today. So we're going to end it there. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Specialist coupon code. We have a question and answer session coming up Saturday, which is today, at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. It does get recorded and it gets uploaded to the website if you do miss it. So that's all I've got. We'll catch you next time, guys. See ya.